Hey, Michael, this is How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. I'm an account manager over at the company social media platform. I was recently appointed your account. I just want to reach out and introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to have an idea and just have a conversation about what you guys are currently doing on and if you have a strategy for your marketing in place for SalesScripter.
We're not doing any ads or anything right now.
Okay, cool. Listen, I just wanted to let you know that I'm your guy here at we has essentially developed an internal team for businesses who are looking to get more of a response and progress on the platform. So feel free to email me or reach out if you guys decide you want to look into the platform more and getting a little bit more website traffic from it, okay?
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thanks, Michael.
Bye.
Take care.
Here are 3 things this salesperson could modify to immediately improve his cold calling efforts. And the first is to slightly change how he responded to the objection that he faced. This salesperson works for a social media platform selling ads, and the prospect basically said, "We're not doing any ads right now." And the salesperson went more in a direction of complying with the objection and bringing the call to an end. Now, sometimes it makes sense to comply with objections, but is this that type of scenario? Should the salesperson have pushed more? To answer that, we can go back to the sales process that the salesperson is trying to work through. And what most salespeople do is they focus more on the last step of the sales process, which is the prospect purchasing what you have to sell. Even if the purchase does not take place right then, they still try to validate, are you interested in what I sell? Do you need what I sell? And the problem with that is that if you're focused on selling the product, such as selling ads and advertising on a social media platform, the fact that the prospect is not doing any ads right now, or maybe doesn't have any budget for ads right now, is a valid reason to not keep moving forward and not talk anymore. But if you're not selling the product, if you're selling the conversation, for example, in this scenario, the conversation to talk more about the social media platform and how ads can be used to generate leads and generate website traffic, if that's what you're focused on, the fact that the prospect is not doing any ads today is not a valid reason to stop talking. And with that, you can actually respond to that objection of we're not doing any ads right now by saying something like, hey, I understand, and I want you to know I'm not reaching out to you today to try to sign you guys up or sell you anything. More so, I'm just looking out to have a first conversation. I'd like to learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing, possibly share some information about us and our social media platform if it makes sense. That way, when you are ready to make some changes or turn on some ads, you will know who we are and you'll know what options are available to you. And after you say something like that, you could go for the close by saying something like, so are you available next week? Or you could transition to asking a question to keep the conversation going and try to uncover a reason to talk more, and then you go for the close. And the second thing that this salesperson could change is that he could try to ask good questions. And one reason this can greatly help this salesperson is that if we are changing to focus more on selling the conversation, the best way to get them to agree to talk more is to simply improve your ability to find a reason to talk more. And the best way to find a reason to talk more is simply asking good questions. Now, you may agree with that 100%, but still not know what questions to ask. Well, I'm going to give you a couple categories of questions that you can create for the product or service that you sell. And the first category of questions are what I refer to as pain questions. These are questions that probe for the pain or challenges that you can help to resolve with your product or service. Now, these are actually going to be unique depending on what you sell, and I can actually create pain questions for this particular salesperson by taking a step back and looking at his value proposition. And I know what one of his main value propositions is because he actually said it on the cold call. Actually, it was the very last thing that he said. On the cold call, he said, reach out if you want to get a little more website traffic out of our social media platform. And it's kind of ironic because this is the thing he said at the very end. And this is actually one of the best things he said during the cold call because that's his value proposition. That is the value that he has to offer his customers and the prospects that he's trying to sell to. He helps them to increase their website traffic. And if we know the value that he has to offer, we can reverse engineer that to create questions to see if someone has that particular pain. How happy are you with the leads you're generating? How do you feel about the leads and website traffic you're getting? How much of a priority is it to generate more leads and website traffic? There could be more, but these are 3 simple pain questions that would help this salesperson to identify if the prospect he's talking to is anywhere close to needing what he has to offer. If someone is great in all of these areas, they do not need the service of social media advertising that he has to sell. And it does not make sense for that salesperson to talk and spend time with that type of prospect. The next category of questions that this salesperson could create are current state questions. And these are basically questions that help to identify what is the prospect doing in the area where I have something to sell. What are the ways you're generating leads? Are you currently using social media to generate leads? Are you using paid ads? Are you active on this particular social media platform? And the third thing that this salesperson could do to improve his results is to eliminate talking about all of his internal organizational detail. If you go back and listen to his call, really the main thing he talked about were all the details of his organization, talking about his role, him being assigned to the prospect's account, an internal team being created. These are all details that a cold prospect does not care at all about. A warm prospect or a prospect that is in buying mode might care about some of this stuff. But when you're cold calling and you only have 2 minutes to work with, every second of that cold call is very precious time. So why waste it talking about all these things that the prospect most likely does not care that much about? And that wasted time could be spent talking about the value you have to offer and the pain that you can help make go away, and asking questions to learn more about the prospect and improve your ability to find a justification for talking more. And I can actually show you real quick what that looks like. Instead of opening the cold call talking about your organization and that you're reaching out to introduce yourself, open the cold call with your value proposition. And taking the value proposition from the last thing that he said on his cold call, we can move it to the very beginning to say something like, well, the reason why I'm reaching out is that we help businesses to get a little bit more website traffic. Then I can do a sales takeaway to say something like, but I'm not sure if you're a good fit or not. If I could ask you real quick, and then I can transition to asking some questions. For this salesperson, I recommend leading with your current state questions. If you sell something more commoditized, more well-known, more regularly purchased, current state questions are usually good to start out with. If you sell something that's more unique and the prospect might not even know what it is, then pain questions can often be better to lead with. So again, instead of the salesperson talking about how his organization is structured, he could ask questions to find out what the prospect is doing in the area of generating leads and increasing website traffic and using ads and social media platforms. By the way, the salesperson using this approach might still end up at the same place in terms of receiving the objection of the prospect saying, you know what, we're actually not doing any ads right now. And if that does happen, the salesperson can still respond by saying, I understand, and I want you to know I'm not reaching out to try to sign you guys up or sell you anything. And he could continue on with the response we talked about earlier, where you try to drive towards the conversation sales process step, or you could deflect to asking one of your pain questions. But if I could ask you one more question, how do you feel about the leads and traffic you're getting from the social media platforms you're currently active on? This question gives the salesperson another option. Instead of letting the call come to an end because the prospect is not using any ads right now, it keeps the conversation going. You're most likely to get some sort of response to this question, and you can then either follow up that response with another question, or you might be able to use that response as a justification for closing on the next step of your sales process, which is not the customer purchasing advertising, but the customer agreeing to talk more in the form of a conversation or an appointment. Now, if you see what I did there to create that call script and flow of a conversation, I created a value proposition for the salesperson and then pain questions and current state questions. And we view those three pieces as building blocks. And if you have building blocks like that, then you can mix and match them to create an entire cold call script or an appointment script or objection responses or email messages, voicemail messages, and more. And if you want to create building blocks for what you sell, we actually have a sales message brainstorming process that will take you through a set of steps to create a sales message for what you sell. And here's what I created going through these steps for this particular salesperson. And it's these steps and these blocks that allowed me to create a new cold call script for him. Now, if you think this looks interesting, but you are hesitant to go through this process, either because you're not sure if you can create this information for what you sell, or if you feel like you don't have the time or energy to go through these steps and create all this, the good news is that our software of Sales Scripter will actually create all of this for you in a matter of seconds. Sales Scripter has an area here called the Sales Message Builder, and this software basically aligns with that step-by-step process that I just showed you, helping you to create an optimum set of value points, pain points, and questions. And you could certainly go through this and create all of those points on your own, but we do have AI features allowing you to create your sales message in a matter of seconds. All you have to do is enter the product that you sell, and the software will do all of the work for you. In a matter of seconds, it's going to actually reach out to ChatGPT, and it's going to ask, for this particular product, what are the features? What are some ways that we might be different? What is the value we have to offer? What are the pain points we can help make go away? What are the pain questions we should ask? What are current state questions that we should ask? What this basically does in a matter of seconds is it creates your main building blocks, and the software will then mix and match those building blocks to create a whole variety of sales scripts and email templates. Here is a cold call script that this salesperson on this cold call could use selling social media advertising to businesses, opening with your value proposition, transitioning to pain questions, current state questions, pain points, product details, customer example, and going for the close. So hopefully those three tips give you ideas for how you can improve your sales efforts. And that is pretty much it. If you have questions or want more information, the best place to go is salescripter.com. Thanks for being here. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.